All
Thank you.
right, so let's begin. And we're going to begin today with the superpower exercise. So we're going to get into, thanks for the reminder on that, Steve. We're going to get into the superpowers exercise, into the superpower state first, and then I'll come round and check in with everybody, find out how you're doing. All right, so take a deep breath, close your eyes, and go into your superpower state. Start repeating your word or phrase, or think of your subject, however you get into your superpower state. Feel your heart expanding. Very good. Feel it going all the way through your body, top of your head, tips of your toes, fingertips. Very good. And imagine each of the 50 trillion cells in your body being filled with that light, that energy. Love each cell just for existing. Good job. And now fill the little you with that same love, that light, that energy. From the tips of their toes to the top of their head and out to the fingertips. See their heart shining with that beautiful light, that energy. And now fill your subject with that light or energy. Imagine them being filled with that love, just for existing, no matter what. And imagine they don't want to be with you, or they're rejecting you, or they're sulky or annoyed in some way, and just keep them filled with that same love, that light, that energy. Love them anyway. And now fill everyone else on this call with the same love, the light, the energy. Fill everyone on this call. Love them just for existing. Very, very good job. You can open your eyes. All right, so I hope that was good for everyone to start that way. And I have a new little exercise that I'm going to say now because I haven't written it down. I don't want to forget it, but I'll elaborate on it towards the end if someone can remind me. But I'd like to suggest that, so, you know, when between this and tomorrow's call, so in the 24 hours when we're getting on with our own lives and everything, what I'd like to suggest is an experiment that as you go about your day or when you go to bed at night or whatever, whenever you think of it, is to pick someone in this group that you know from this group and send them that love. So throughout your day, just test it. And so you've seen the names of each other, and just pick someone and get into your superpower state and send that love to them. And let's see how that goes. I think that will be very powerful, not only for that other person, but mainly for you, of course, because that's wonderful practice. Good job. All right, so let's go around to each person, find out how you're doing. And if there are any questions or targets for today. Oh, speaking of targets, I have to tell you that you'll remember that on Friday we did, I included a target for Friday. Someone that we know had gone missing. And so it's just to let you know, later that afternoon, I had a text from my sister to say that she had been found. And she was alive and breathing. She was unconscious, but she was alive and breathing, and she was being taken to the hospital by the paramedics. I haven't had an update on how she's doing now. They were going to assess her and that, so I haven't heard from my sister on an update on that, but my sister thanked all of you. She asked me to pass on the thanks to all of you for including our friend in that target, and I'll update you if when I hear back. All right, so let's check on how everyone's doing. So hi, Kathy, how are you this morning?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. I don't think I have too much to say at this point. I find very often once the flow starts, then these things pop up. So right
That's
now
right.
I'm just great.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. All right, Bogusława, how are you today?
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
okay. That's
Okay,
okay.
just
Trying to be happy.
yes.
Forcing myself a little bit to be happy. Trying to watch some funny stuff, and
Okay.
I don't do much. Like I don't feel like do anything.
Okay. So, so when you say trying to be happy, what are you thinking about? Where's your focus?
Past, always in the past.
In the past. Okay. And where particularly in the past? What's the main thing that your focus keeps getting sort of pulled to?
Like childhood, my parents, my
Okay, good.
past relationship.
Okay, very good. So when you think of your childhood and your parents, what's there? What is it that you're thinking?
Oh, I discovered something last time, which I was kind of shocking, how my mother treated me.
Okay, all right. So when you think of that, what emotions come up?
I'm just not
Okay,
good.
upset. Okay, so here's two things. First of all, you have a cat, right? Okay, what's your cat's name again? It's something cute, but I can't remember now.
This one I call Kicha.
Kicha. Okay, that's different to the other one, right?
Yes, different.
Yes.
This is different cat.
It's a different cat. Well, that's good, because otherwise one cat having two names can be confusing.
No,
So
no.
Kicha, and has Kicha, how old is Kicha?
Around 14, 15 years now.
Oh, a good age. So that's good. And so has Kicha ever done anything funny in his 14 years?
Not really. It's kind of grumpy cat.
A grumpy cat. There's big business in being a grumpy cat, I've heard.
Yeah, that cat is different than the one I had.
Okay. And
The
and what color is Kicha?
he's kind of tabby cat, like this kind.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's got white paws.
Yes,
Oh,
he always sit like that. He's
lovely.
always proud. He's just, you see, look at the face. He's so mad because I took it.
He's lovely though.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. All right, sweetheart. So one of the main things that I would suggest is a due justice letter to your mum.
I just did yesterday.
You did it? Yeah.
I did two.
Okay.
I did to my mom about the issue I found, and the other when she was a kid growing up, when she was little.
Oh, good. Yes.
But with this one, I didn't feel emotion. I was just crying.
Yeah.
And I was putting whatever was coming to my head.
That's
but
exactly
I didn't feel emotions. After, when I teared the letter, I started to feel anger for a while and then go away. So I don't know.
Okay, so you may need to do an angry one. That anger that you felt, you may need to get that out. But in the meantime, today we're going to do the superpower exercise. And so for today, what I'd like you to do in the session is aim that superpower at your whole childhood, your little you and your mum and all of that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for this session today. Okay. Steve, would you mind putting it on the target list for me, please? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Bogusława. So we'll get that sorted out today, sweetheart. You're very welcome. All right. And so Katrina. Hey, Katrina, how are you doing today?
Yes, I was good up until I started to, do my homework on the thing about praising. You told me to praise the little girl and get my mother to praise me and all of that. So when I went, can I read this out?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this is me talking to the little me. So I'm letting you know I am telling you now, you are perfect the way you are. And the little girl saying, no, I'm not. You always judged and criticized me and compared me with a particular girl.
Mhm.
And when I done that, I would always be deflated, right? You never accepted me as being perfect. So why should I believe you now? I don't, you said hug her. I says, and then the little person said, I don't want your hug. I want to punish you because you were so mean to me and da 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 da. And it's like, I don't want to, little me doesn't want to forgive you, whoever you're talking to.
Yes. That is perfect, Katrina. That is absolutely perfect. And I'll tell you why. Because that's a due justice letter. That needs a due justice letter. So let that little you write to whoever that was, your mum or whoever it was, and say everything that's there. You never treated me like, you always compared me to so and so. Let all of that come out in a due justice session, because there will be more than what you've got there. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There'll be a lot more of that, and get all of that out, and then go, tear it up, throw it away, or burn it, or whatever, however you want to do it, and then go to sleep, allow it to process, and then come back to seeing if you can do the praising and the hugging, and see if that clears it. Does that sound good?
Katrina, another thing that you may want to do this, and I'm saying this for other people that are doing it and the recording as well, that when you do this, imagine the adult you being with the little you, so that you're not feeling like you're alone. Sometimes the resistance that's there to writing these letters is a feeling that I'm going to get in trouble if I talk like that to my parents.
No, it's not. It would be, I compared myself with I asked this particular girl, could I be her friend? And she said no.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about this girl at boarding school.
Right.
And
Yep. So if it's helpful, imagine the adult you being with the little you who's writing the letter at this time. So you're just there as like a support or a companion, or letting her know that it's safe to write the letter.
And I'm expressing this to Helen, or I shouldn't say. I'm expressing this to this person.
So
no.
Who are you feeling the anger? Who are you feeling the resentment toward?
Myself, because I compared myself to her, and I wanted to be like her, and she was better looking than me, and she had everything, and I had nothing, type thing, So I kept beating. I was deflated, and I never.
Okay.
I seen her, and I felt I always felt belittled and all this kind of stuff.
I would write a letter from her to you. Right. To the adult you, exactly that, so whatever she was saying, whatever she said when you tried to hug her or when you tried to praise her, put that in the letter to whoever she was saying it to. So if it was to you now, then let her do that, number one, because I suspect what will happen, I could be wrong, but as you're doing that, you'll find it's actually directed to someone else from your childhood. And that's okay, let that come up. And then if that's what happens, then allow that to change direction, however it comes out. And then also do one to the other girl.
Well, why should I do one to her? She knows nothing about this.
No, but the little you, so am I right in thinking the little you asked her to be friends and she said no?
Yeah.
Right, that's why you need to write one to her. Why did she say no? How dare she say no? How could she say no? Or whatever's there. See what emotions are there. So let me ask you this first. If that little you who's saying, I don't want your hugs, I don't want your praise and all of that, if she could say what she feels to anybody, who would it be that she would want to speak to? Who does she want to know something?
No, but I just beat it. You know, I always was mean to me.
There you go. There you go. So two things. Number one, let her write to you because you know she feels you've always been mean to her. So that's number one. Let her write that letter to you. Number two, where did you learn to be mean to you? Who taught you how to be mean? Because we're not born with the ability to be mean to ourselves. We don't have that ability. Babies are born believing the whole world revolves around them, and that is trained out of us. So it's where did you learn to do that? And that's the other person you need to write to then, from that little one's perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll try. That's a lot of information, so
Yes. So it's two things. So number one, a due justice letter from the little you to the you that was mean.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That bit?
It's like, you know, I'm in a trance of back there, so I can't hear you now.
Okay. All right. So tell me about your, do you have any pets?
No, not at the moment, but I had my pony, Charmaine.
Oh, yes. I think you mentioned Charmaine. And what color was Charmaine?
She was the Palomino.
Oh, beautiful. Those are gorgeous. And did you ride her?
Oh, yes.
Nice. And so what's your favorite memory of Charmaine? Was she a jumping pony or just walking?
Oh, jumping pony. I hunted and I done dressage. I done everything with her.
Wow.
But, yeah, she was my yes, I was very safe. She was my best friend. She was my buddy. She was, you know, that type of thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. And
she wanted to be my friend. She was my friend.
She was your friend. And yes, exactly. And so if Charmaine was another child, what kind of girl would she be?
If Charmaine was what, a girl?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously you wouldn't be riding her, but what kind of personality would she have?
What kind of personality would you have?
Yeah.
Yes, well, she was a lively pony, and she was lively, and she was.
So she'd be bubbly.
I can't see her. She was bubbly, and she was nice, and she was lovely all the time. There was no sort of, oh my God, how's she going to be like today? She was always 100% fantastic.
Good, consistent and reliable. How wonderful. Yeah. Very, very good. So let's just do this very quickly. And I know this, you know, obviously these sessions are not for changing memories, but I want to give you something that's going to help just temporarily at least. Let's go to boarding school briefly, and I want you to put Charmaine, the pony, in boarding. You had her with you. There was a little stable for her. And how would the other kids have reacted if you had your pony? You were the only one with a pony. Nobody else had a pony. What would that have been like?
But like that didn't happen.
That's too far-fetched.
Very good. Good comment. Good point. And now I'll tell you, this is that your subconscious does not know that. Only your conscious mind knows that. But as far as your subconscious is concerned, it could have happened. There's absolutely no reason it couldn't happen. Your subconscious doesn't have the ability to judge something as unrealistic or not true or anything. Think about all the things that you think of yourself that aren't true, but your subconscious believes them. So just as an exercise, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, just as an exercise, imagine, just use your imagination, pretend, right, that you are at boarding school and you've got your pony and you're the only one with a pony. Just pretend. It's not going to cost anything. Nobody's going to check up on you. There's no memory police.
And nobody's going to see her, only me?
No, no, no. Everyone can see her. So in other words, what I would think is that the other kids would have been like, oh, you're so lucky to have a pony. I want a pony. Can I pet her? Can I groom her? Can I ride her? And you will go, well, I don't know. I'll think about it. It's my pony. It depends on how nice you are to me as to whether I let you anywhere near her or not. Right? How would that have, if that did happen, what would that be like for that little Katrina? What would that experience would have been like?
I don't know, it's too alien.
Okay, but you have an imagination, you can imagine, right?
I always said that I can't, no imagination, I can't imagine. I'm no good at imagining, I don't know how to imagine. That's a closed shop type thing.
Okay, all right.
Do you dream? Have you got a dream? Have you a passion? No dream, no passion. It's like, oh my God, are you living?
Yeah, so what that is that's not you, that's just a protection mechanism. That's all it is. So take a deep breath, close your eyes right now. And I want you to think of your front door. You got it? You can think of your front door right now.
Okay, yeah.
You got it? Okay. What color is your front door as you remember it now?
Red.
Good. So now I want you to make it blue in your mind. Can you do that?
Well, I'm thinking someone else's door as blue.
Okay, but think of your door as blue. And if you can't just make it blue in your mind, imagine taking out a pot of blue paint and just paint it blue.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Good. Now make it purple.
Okay.
Good. Now put some stars on it, some like silver stars all over it in the purple door, on the purple door. You can imagine that?
Okay.
Very, very good. And now open the door. Close the door. Close it again. And now put a window in it, like a little window with little curtains with lace on them. You got that?
Okay.
Good job. You can open your eyes. You just used your imagination. All right, so that's to give you an idea of what you're aiming at. So it doesn't have to be like a movie or a picture, you know what I mean? So however that was represented in your mind right now, that's what you're looking for everything else, for the memories. And what stops that is the emotions. So when you try and imagine Charmaine at boarding school, what's happening is that part of your subconscious is producing the emotions to protect you, to stop you from thinking of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because so you were able to do it with your front door because you have no emotions about your front door, right? I mean, it's probably a very nice front door, but it doesn't matter if you imagine it a different color. It's not dangerous to you because you're not changing who you are. Whereas doing something like imagining Charmaine at school, that would change who you are. That would start to make core changes to who you are, which is what you want to do, right? You want to be happier and healthier and all of those things. But your subconscious, of course, just goes, we're all going to die. If you change anything, we'll die, right? So the answer to that is, it's okay. You know, when I imagine Charmaine at school, it's okay. It's just in my mind, just like the front door. I mean, you could make Charmaine purple if you wanted to. Your subconscious won't care.
I would care. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give
But, all right.
Charmaine a nice purple blanket.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. A nice purple blanket. All right. So I hope it's how do you feel, Katrina?
I feel better. Yeah. Yeah. Much better. Thank you.
All
Yes.
right.
So
You're very welcome, love.
I think that was a great example of just being able to refocus for 60 or 90 seconds and watching that shift of what's going on neurochemically,
Yes.
for one. The other thing I wanted to add to that is that there could be old childhood belief systems that were in place. I know I kind of grew up with a family thing about dreaming or daydreaming, or it's not necessarily safe to dream. So we kind of can pick up some of those stories in childhood as well. And work for another day would be going back and changing that. But we can discuss that later.
All right. Very good. So
Thank you.
you're very welcome, sweetheart, and thank you for sharing that, because I know, like we said, this is not about changing memories and that, but it is part of, so the reason we change memories is so that you can live from the state of unconditional love. So it is interwoven, and I know that will help others who are struggling as well. So thank you very, very much for sharing it. All right. Very good. And Wanda, how are you today?
Good. Happy to be here today, and I'm not working today.
Good. Yay.
Katrina, I wanted to ride your pony. I was ready to jump on it.
I think we all did.
Let's do it. Okay, I have not done a lot of homework. I only did one, which is seeing myself as a little girl. I am the youngest of 6.
Right.
So, of course, I was spoiled. And so, a pain in the neck. So I wanted to change that and seeing myself as a little girl, and that I was nice, I was not crying, I was smiling all the time, and they all wanted to be with me. They all wanted to go out with me. So if it was my older sister, she wanted to know, I'm going to take Wanda. If it was the other one, no, I want to take Wanda, because I was kind of like nice to be with.
That's it.
And so I did that one. So, and every time that I'm trying to think negative, I will try to bring that image of me being carried by everybody as a little girl. So that's the only thing I did.
But that's a powerful one. Well done, Wanda, because that'll be a core one. So that'll be really important, and well done for using it throughout your day. Whenever you feel negative, referring to that new memory. So that is something that a lot of people, don't think of doing, or they forget to do. But that is very important, because when your subconscious is going down the old track, refer to the new proof and evidence that proves the new thing you want. So that's wonderful. And thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Good job, you.
It didn't work all the time though, but I did.
Absolutely.
I did many times. I did, yeah. Sometimes like my brain, something that I want you to work is that sometimes my mind falls into a loop. And it's kind of like hard for me to get out of whatever I'm thinking of that loop. And so I did prayer, I did exercise, I did my salsa class, I count. And so kind of like I have to do different things to get my head out of the loop. So I want, when we do the thing, that we target my brain to be able to get out easier from that loop that sometimes I fall into.
Very good. So Steve, would you mind making a note of that, please? The one of the targets is Wanda's loop. Wanda's, I think we all have a loop. I know that feeling myself, and what that loop is actually is it is effectively a loop of stress chemicals and thoughts. It is like a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break out of. And so well done. And the thing of that it doesn't always work to redirect to the new memories, that's perfectly normal. That is absolutely perfectly normal. And it's the same with physical exercise, where some days will be easier than others, even as you progress and get stronger. So that's absolutely brilliant. Well done for keeping going with it. I'm very proud of you. Good job, Wanda. Thank you for sharing. All right. And then Cheryl, how are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So first I want to say thank you to you and Steve, because one of the things that is so nice is when someone is struggling, as I was the other day, or whenever someone isn't feeling well, you guys always are there and you help. The love is just radiating off of both of you. And everyone in the chat too. Like when you see the chat messages come up, it's really nice. I just wanted to say to Katrina too, this weekend I had gone through some pictures, and well, it was actually that day when the basement blew up, but one of the things I found, I'm going to cover her face, but I found this picture of this little girl who was my best friend who rejected me.
Oh, wow.
And I saved her photo. Okay, so I'm in my 50s and I still have her picture because I wanted her approval so much.
Oh, and how amazing is that synchronicity right there as well?
Exactly. So I get where Katrina is coming from, those moments. I mean, I can remember when she told all the girls not to play with me, and I'm thinking, my God, this moment in 6th grade is not going to define me right now. Like, you know, I deserve to have friends who played with me. So I've been working on trying to rewrite those non-friendships into friendships.
Good job.
So what Katrina was saying just sort of helped, you know, reinforce the path that I was on. The other thing I wanted to just share with you guys is that yesterday, I'm in a really nice church where it's not like when you hear church. I used to hear church and I'd be like, ugh, judgment and all that kind of stuff. But this is a very welcoming, open, beautiful place. And so we've been doing online service, and then we have like a little coffee hour after. And so Pastor Vicky asked me if I would want to host a coffee hour after. And I was a little nervous about it, but it actually turned out to be really fun. But we got bombed, you know, Zoom bombed by someone.
Oh, yes.
And I attribute my actions to all of you. I immediately ejected the person from the room and I typed, "Love will prevail." It just like came, it was the first thought I had. Yes. And I said, wow, how did I even have that thought so quickly? But that's like doing these workshops has made love just be like the focus of everything I'm doing. So even this morning I was on Facebook. I'm only going on there to go on the Remmert private group. Oh, yes. I saw my mom had posted, "Are you praying for Donald Trump?" And without even thinking about it, I just said something like, well, first I loved everyone's comments, even though I didn't really agree with them, but there were all these little hearts. And then I just said, always, you know, shedding love into the darkness. And I felt so good about it. I was okay.
Perfect. Well done, Cheryl. And that's such a great example. And that is because as you do that more and more, then fewer and fewer things bother you or trigger you. So that is so wonderful. And I love the fact that it was automatic to say love will prevail.
Well,
that is beautiful.
Yeah, that was the thing that was so shocking. It's like,
it's a great sign. Yeah.
It's quick. It's like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of moments, but it's nice to feel in the love mode today. So
that's good. Yes. And it shows that core changes are starting to take place. So well done. Yay for you. I'm so glad and so proud of you, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you, Katrina, for sharing. That really helped me.
Good. All right. And then Amy. Hello, Amy.
Oh,
welcome.
Hi. Thank you. I've been listening to some of the videos behind the scenes, and this time of the morning is many days I've been working. So Yeah, so I wanted to share that after I attended, for everyone who doesn't know, I attended the weekend workshop, which was excellent, and got a lot of great tips and tools and whatnot. And I had a really great day yesterday. It just like I felt like my old self. I went to a memory that I created of my new sanctuary, my home that I want to move to, and I was getting all these things done, organized, and everything was great. But then I go and base how I slept or how my night went with my health symptoms and then today now it's not so great. So I go to what I don't like about what's going on and feel it's not helpful for me. And then it affects my day. So that's where I want to get back off of that focus. Yeah.
Good. Yes. And I'm so glad that you're here this morning. Well done for attending. It's lovely to have you with us. And so, yes, the place you want to get to is that as soon as the thought comes to what isn't good or what you haven't got yet, or, whatever you don't want, is that you immediately fill yourself with that love and send it to it, because that's what will change it.
Okay.
So if you think of, the fact that you didn't sleep well or your health symptoms, if you think of that as darkness, as soon as you notice the darkness, immediately pull up that light and shine light into it.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So like the front door, the purple, the twinkly stars or something, just create all this a light picture around it. Okay.
Yes, but feel it from your heart. So, the superpower exercise, and we're going to go into it again. Yes. Feel that shining out from your heart and filling the symptoms, the whether you slept or not, the whatever you're worried about, that kind of thing. Use all of those things as target practice.
Got it. Okay.
To increase your skill, to get better at it.
Awesome. Now, and then also I wanted to share, thanks for sharing, Cheryl. It brought up a memory for me that in 6th grade, I had a best friend from 2nd to 6th grade that we were awesome. We were best friends. And then in 6th grade, she dumped me for another gal, and it was like, that was rejection. So I didn't really realize that memory there. So thank you, Cheryl, for saying that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is the Due Justice letter. I realized that I've started it, but I have resistance in, I'm not able to speak my mind and somebody might read it. So that's something that I really need to let myself be angry, which I never was allowed to do. Yeah.
Yes, very good. And that feeling of someone might, I'm not allowed to speak my mind and someone might read it. Give yourself permission to write just a little bit.
Okay, got it.
So what you could do, I know this would have worked for me back then, is write a little bit and tear it up and throw it away. Or burn it. And then write a bit more to start with, so that you've got that where you've got the bit out and you've got rid of it before anybody can even, think about it, before anyone can see it. So it'll reassure that part of you.
That there's some privacy. Yes, got it.
And you're safe. And then you may find you can write more and more.
Okay, got it. Awesome.
So keep doing that until you feel, oh, it's all right. I can, I feel safe. I can write.
Right. Even though I'm alone, I live alone and no one's going to read it, there's still that unconscious that someday somebody might find it and read it.
That's it. And so my brain would do the same thing, and it would come up with, well, what if something happens to me? Like I suddenly have a heart attack and die, or there's a fire or something, and then somebody finds it.
I know. Yep. Because when my grandmother passed away, we found money, little coins, like from the Great Depression. She had little coins in every drawer of the house. She had, little cards that, so it's interesting how people, little things that you find out. Yeah.
So even if it's just, a couple of sentences at a time, in case anything happens, you can write, what the do you think you were doing? And then tear it up and throw it away. And then the next bit, just keep doing that until you feel comfortable.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Amy. Good job, you. I'm very proud of you too.
Thank you.
All right. Good job. Okay, so I'll check in with the comments. There's quite a few. So if I miss any questions or anything, Steve, let me know. Lisa says, I feel very excited and missed you all this weekend. These sessions make a beautiful difference, and I thought of you all this weekend, and it reminded me to get into the love state. I'm grateful. That is wonderful, Lisa, and thank you for sharing that. And we feel the same about you. So it's wonderful. It's always lovely to see you. Good job. And so there's some agreeing with that. Me too. Very good. So Kara says, I started watching Modern Family, which I didn't know, and I find it very funny and love it. I have to tell you that that is my favorite series. I absolutely love it. So I'm so glad you discovered that. And if anyone doesn't know it, Modern Family, the sitcom, it's a really lovely, uplifting, very funny series. So I highly recommend that. Thank you for sharing with us, Katrina. You deserve to have been treated kindly and to have many friends with a hug. Yes, and I second that. So there's some comments, some more comments on that little session. So that's good. And some compliments to each other. That's lovely. Always lovely to see. Okay, so Carrie says, I spent most of the weekend in or near my superpower. Very good, well done. I had a lot of extra love in my heart, so I send it all to you guys. That's lovely. I had a bit of trouble keeping it when I ate or drank anything. No big deal, she asks. So I know Steve has replied with, thanks, Carrie. Try sending the love to the food that you're eating. So the food and the drink, that's a great thing to do anyway. You know, whenever you go to drink or eat something, love the thing. Now, the main thing, of course, is that will help you get stronger and stronger in your own feel-good state, get those feel-good chemicals. But in addition to that, anyone who knows, I can't remember his first name, but Dr. Moto's work, the Japanese scientist that worked with water crystals. You can look that up. If you know about that, the effect our emotions have on water, even water that's not near us, it's over there, and that effect, you can imagine the effect it has on anything you put into your body. So sending love to water, to coffee, to whatever you're drinking, and food that you're eating, either before you eat it or just sending it to you, whether you're going to eat it or not, that actually, it'll certainly have an effect on you emotionally and chemically, but according to him, it will also have an effect on a quantum level. So that's a great idea there. You are all rock stars. We all have those friends that left us. Yes. Empowering, Cheryl. Yes, very good. So some lovely feedback and compliments there. Rejection is not fun. It seems we all have experienced it. Yes. I am looking forward to rewriting my history around friendships. Good job. And and also, with those friendships, with those childhood friendships that you rewrite, also look earlier, because your experience with your friends will be based on what you experienced at home. So change the stuff at home first, because you learned somewhere how to respond to that rejection or that, because some kids are rejected and it's going, yeah, whatever, it doesn't mean anything, and some kids are the rejectors. So it all depends on what you've got in your subconscious by that time. So you can change that too. Carrie says, good work, everyone. I love you all. We love you too, Carrie. And then, yes, Masaru Emoto. Thank you, Cheryl. That's perfect. So for those who are interested in the water crystal stuff, Masaru, M-A-S-A-R-U, Emoto, E-M-O-T-O. And I can't remember the name of his book, but if you type that into Google along with water or water crystals, you'll see his stuff come up, and it's very, very interesting. All right. And thank you, Steve. The targets have been emailed to me, just looking that up. All right, so everybody take a deep breath, close your eyes. Let's do this. And go into your superpower state, either but with your word or phrase, or using the beginner's exercise, however you get into your state. And feel your heart expanding and that love or light shining out from your heart. And imagine that light or energy spreading down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy. And fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body, fill each one with that love, that light, that energy. Love each cell just for existing. Very good, good job. And now think of the little you and fill that little you, fill that child with that same light or energy. Love that little you just for existing. Very good job. And see that light or energy overflowing from that little you and filling the whole room they're in. And now think of your subject and imagine your subject doesn't want to be with you or is rejecting you or is unhappy in some way, and keep that subject filled with that light, that energy, that love. Love them anyway, no matter what. Very, very good. And now let's aim at each other. So let's start with Boguslava. Fill Boguslava with that light or energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Boguslava just for existing. Very, very good. And now imagine Boguslava as a little girl, cute little thing, and fill that little her with that love, that light, that energy. Love her just for existing, that cute little thing. And I want you to imagine that light or energy overflowing from that little Boguslava and spreading out and filling the room she's in, and then filling her mother. So her mother's full of that same light or energy, and I want you to notice that that light or energy is coming out of her mother as well, out of her mother's heart, and filling that little Boguslava. So they're both full of that light, that energy, that beautiful unconditional love, which is who we really are, the real essence. And feel that power. Very good job. And now let's go to Kathy. And fill Kathy with that same light or energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. So she's now full of that light, that energy. Love Kathy just for existing. Very, very good. And now to Katrina. And fill Katrina with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Katrina just for existing. Very, very good. And now I want you to think of Katrina as a little girl, cute little thing. And fill her with that same love, that light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips as she's full of that love, that light. Love her just for existing. And now imagine that light or energy overflowing from that little Katrina and filling everything and everyone around her. It's shining out from her as her power, and it fills everyone else and everything else around her, including Charmaine the pony and all the other children. Fill everything with that light, that energy. Love it all just for existing. Very good job. All right, now let's go to Wanda. Fill Wanda with that light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Wanda just for existing. And now let's go to that loop of negative thoughts and feelings, and love that loop anyway. Love that loop without needing it to change. Just love it exactly as it is. The negative thoughts that come up, love those. The negative feelings that come up, love those. Love Wanda's loop and your own loop. Love all loops. Very good. And now let's go to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that same light or energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. Good job. And now to Cheryl. Fill Cheryl with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Cheryl just for existing. And love Cheryl's ability to love. Whether it's consistent or not, love it all anyway. Good job. And now to Amy. Fill Amy with that same love, that light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. So she's full of that light, that energy. Love Amy just for existing. Very, very good. Now I want you to fill Amy's physical symptoms, lack of sleep, anything that she's having challenges with, fill that with love and light and energy. Fill those physical symptoms with light and energy and love them exactly as they are. No matter what, love it all anyway. Very good. And now Carrie, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips, that lovely light, that energy. Love Carrie just for existing. And whether she can feel the love and energy while she's eating and drinking or not, love it all anyway. Good job, very good. And now let's fill everyone who's on camera, who's not on camera, everyone who's not on camera but they're on this call. Fill all of them with this light, this energy. Love them just for existing. Fill them with that love from the tips of their toes to the top of their head and out to their fingertips. Very good. And now everybody who's watching the recording, fill each of them from the tips of their toes to the top of their head and out to their fingertips. Love each one just for existing. Good job. And now the little you in your childhood. So fill your whole childhood with that love, that light, that energy no matter what happened, no matter who was there, what they were doing, fill it all with that light, that energy, that love. Love it all anyway. Shine that light into any darkness and feel your power as you do that. Feel that power. Feel it expanding, stretching out, getting stronger. Very good. And now think of you later today and fill that version of you with that same light, that energy, that love. Love that version of you no matter what, whether you achieve something or not, no matter how you react to something or what happens later today. Love it all anyway. Love you anyway. And feel the power of that. Very, very good. You can open your eyes. How was that for everyone? Yeah, good job. Very good. All right. Good. So let's do that new experiment overnight. I mean, from now till tomorrow for the 23 hours. We'll see you all back here tomorrow. But during the coming hours, these 23 hours, practice sending it to people in the group. And randomly, and it doesn't have to, you can do one person, then do another person, you can do a few at once, whatever feels good. It's just about doing it over and over. So it's another opportunity for target practice, and see how that goes for you. I'd love to hear if that has an effect or not. And Wanda? Hi.
When I was doing the exercise, I only felt water with Katrina, not light. Water. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. That's that's okay. So as long as it felt good, yeah, that's all right. Good. And also, so that will also be something in you, remember. So whenever we're aiming at other people, anything we experience is about what's going on inside us, which is, so they'll get the love, but also anything like symbolic or that. So you might want to look if that means anything to you, or if it doesn't. As long as it felt good, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Very good. And because that's also good to share in case anybody else had similar experience, so they know that it's okay. Thank you, Wanda.
Yeah.
Very good. And any other questions before we finish for today? In the chat, thank you all. Wow, the energy of love and light was super powerful. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Love you. Very, very good. And we love you too. We love all of you. Thank you all. Have a good day and evening. And we'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.